Hey guys, this is Patty B within the Holler. I got another firearm I'd like to share with y'all. This is the Palmetto State Armory PA-10 Gen 3. The PA-10 is a semi-automatic AR-10 style rifle that uses direct gas impingement and a rotating bolt, much like the AR-15, but beefier, of course. We'll go ahead and clear that, and it's clear. The PA-10's been out for a few years, and Gen 3 is the latest version of which this is. It has some upgrades over the previous versions. I just assembled this. I ordered everything as a kit and then the lower separately. So I just got this put together, haven't fired it yet, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. This thing is pretty inexpensive, probably about as cheap as you can get into an AR-10 style rifle. I think I have like $800 total in this thing. I'm not counting the optic, of course, just the rifle itself. So pretty inexpensive. So we'll see what kind of performance we get out of a inexpensive AR-10. I got the 18-inch barrel, and it's got a nice stainless barrel. This thing, without the optic, of course, just the rifle itself, weighed 8 pounds 6 ounces, which is not that heavy, kind of light for a AR-10 style rifle. Kind of happy about that. It's not too incredibly heavy. I've got a inexpensive primary arms 1x6 variable on it, just to test her out today, see how she does. With that installed, this gun's 9.5 pounds, which not super light, but still not too bad. Not too bad. We'll go over some of the features on this. Start back here. You've got your adjustable buttstock, which this is a Magpul ACS. Pistol grip. It kind of looks like a A1 or A2 AR-15 style overmolded, I guess. I guess it's kind of like an A2, but instead of hard plastic, it's overmolded. The controls on this, standard, not ambi, safety hit selector, bolt catch, bolt release. You've got a stock charging handle, although with an optic, it might be a good idea for me to upgrade and put something a little beefier on there. Forward assist, dust cover, magazine relief, all standard stuff. All standard stuff on here. The handguard, it's kind of nice. It does have anti-rotational tabs on it to keep it from spinning. It got QD mounts. I think it's 15 inches long. M-lock everywhere, so you can mount whatever you like. It's got a black nitride gas tube, which I guess is a new feature. I don't guess I've ever seen a black nitride one, but it is. I guess that's good. You've got a adjustable gas block here, which is 3 positions. And out here on the end, you can see you've got a birdcage style flash hider. This also came with a 2-stage trigger, but I prefer single stage triggers. So I installed actually a Palmetto EPT trigger because I kind of like that better. It's a heavier pull, but I just prefer single stage. Takedown on this, it's gonna be exactly like about any AR-15, but one thing I do want to show you real quick, we'll go ahead and pop these out, is how massive the AR-10 bolt is compared to a standard AR-15. It's just massive and beefy. And look at the size of those lugs. Yeah, this thing's definitely a beast. But takedown and everything like that is going to be identical. So yeah, I haven't shot this thing yet. So looking forward to that. Well, anyways, we'll go outside and let me get this thing sighted in, and we'll see what kind of groups we can get with it. All right, we got this thing sighted in. We got it shooting pretty good. Tweaked my hand loads a little bit. Got it shooting about an inch and a half, 100 yards. So tired of shooting groups. Let's shoot some steel because I love to hear the steel ring. Shouldn't be too much trouble at 100 yards because you know, I got 6-power optics. So let's ring a little steel. All right, listening to that steel, that never gets old. A lot of fun. All right, let's take some shots at 200 yards. All right, so, you know, not too hard. Of course, this is the load I got dialed in. It's shooting about an 1.5 inch group at 100. So shooting that 200-yard plate isn't that tough, you know. Got a 6-power sight, so hitting that steel pretty hard though. You know, 308 hits that steel so much harder than 223. Makes it a lot of fun. All right, we're back inside from shooting the Palmetto State Armory PA-10 chambered in 308 Winchester, and you know, did quite a bit of load development over the last few days, and shot probably 250 rounds trying to get this thing dialed in. My choice of optics probably didn't help me. It's only a 1x6, you know, with an ACSS reticle, and instead of putting the 2-stage target trigger in, I put a single stage. It's like a mil spec. It's a coated trigger. It shoots pretty well, but it's still about a 5-pound pull. It's just really slick. But I like single stage triggers better than 2-stage, so that's what I went with here. I think if I had a better scope and maybe got a target trigger, I definitely would have got better groups, but you know, work with what I had. And to start with, a lot of my groups were, you know, they were over 2 inches, between 2 and 3 in a lot of cases. Here we go. This is a 150 grain Hornady full metal jacket hand load that I use in my M1A, and 2.1 inches. Here's this was a commercial load, Federal 150 grain soft point, 2.25 inches. And a lot of my groups that I would get 4 rounds pretty tight and then have a flyer. I saw that several times. You know, that's just a little frustrating when you get a good group and then a flyer, but you know, that's just the way it is. But the more I shot, it seemed like slowly it started tightening up. I'm not sure if the barrel was breaking in. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. You know, brand new barrel doesn't shoot as good as one that's broken in. Here's another 150 grain Hornady full metal jacket, the load for my M1A. You know, I got 4 rounds right here and just over an inch or so, and then 1 right there, which makes it a 3-inch group. Not that great. But I kept on shooting and trying different loads, see how she'd do. This is a 150 grain Remington soft point, 2 inches. This was a pretty nice group here, another hand load, 165 grain spear, 1.1 inches. Unfortunately, I followed it up with this group, which is 2 3/4 with the same load. So, you know, I didn't do so great there. And here's another 150 grain Hornady, and that was 4 inches. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of this was probably me. I am not a target shooter at all, but, you know, doing the best I can with what I got. And the more I shot, like I said, the better she got. These are some more of those M1A loads, 150 grain Hornady, 2.5, 2.4, 1.9, and then I ran out of those loads, so I kind of changed my powder a little bit. I gave it another grain or so of powder because these are pretty slow. They're for M1A, so they, you know, lower pressures. And once I started adding a little more powder, she started tightening up pretty good. As you can see right here, it's another 150 grain Hornady, but with increased powder charge, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. And after that, that's pretty much what every load went into that I was shooting. This is an 1.5 inch MOA gun, which for less than $800, I don't know that anybody can argue with, because yeah, you can get stuff that shoots tighter, but I think you're going to spend more money. You know, I'm not a great bench rest shooter anyways, and I probably handicap myself, like I said, with the optic and the trigger. But you know, 1.5 inch gun for under $800, I think most people would take that all day long. I didn't mess with the with the adjustable gas block yet. I think look at my ejection pattern and feeling the recoil, I think maybe it's a little overgassed and I could tune it down, but I was more concerned with trying to get some groups to shrink down than I was with the gas settings and the recoil. The good news is like I said, well over 200 rounds and not one failure, which is pretty awesome. You always love when a gun runs, and this thing ran like a champ, so I can't complain about that. But if you're thinking about getting one of these and an inch and a half is all you want out of a rifle, then hey, I say go for it, because price for performance, I just don't know that you can beat this thing. I'm more than happy with it. I'll take an inch and a half all day long. So, well, there you go, guys. Palmetto State Armory PA-10. Y'all have a nice day.